Hi Year 11, this presentation will help you in developing a body paragraph. You need to use the paragraph structure that you've already been taught, which is the point, explanation, example and link. So, what should you put in the point? The point is the controlling idea of the paragraph. It's the main thing that you want to communicate. So, if we have this essay topic here, describe at least one character or individual in the written text that help you to understand an important message. Explain how the character or individual helped you to understand this message. Then your point would be something like this. Job helped me to understand the important message of overcoming adversity when he escaped from his uncaring family. So a main thing to do in this is make sure that you're using language from the essay topic. After you've stated your point, the next thing you need to do is explain your point further by giving more information. For example, Job is an 11-year-old boy who's brought up by a mother who did not want him and a stepfather who physically abuses him. Next, it's time to give an example. An example acts as evidence to support the point that you've made. Your example must include quotes. Very important. So here's an example of the example. The reader learns that Job's mother did not want him when she tells Job, "It was the beginning of all my problems the day you fell out of my crack. I should have shoved you straight back up there." For his mother, Job was nothing more than a ticket to the DPB. If you can integrate your quotes by adding them into the sentence like this example, that makes your essay more fluent and it reads nicer for the marker. So try and do that if you can. Avoid saying a quote that supports this is. Try and just add your quote in fluently. Now a tip here is using the word reader here shows the marker that you understand that there's a relationship between the writer and the reader. That's important if you want to get more than an achieved in your essay. As well as adding an example, and you need to explain the example and why it's relevant to the point. This will show the marker why you chose this example as evidence for your point. For example, the reader learns that Job is resented by his mother, which is an issue in his life that he has to deal with. Now that we've done the P, the E, and the E, we need to do the L. So, what is the purpose of the link? Firstly, it's to explain what we learn about the character or idea. It's to discuss the author's purpose or reason for writing the story. It's to explain what we learn about human behaviour or nature. And also, you need to refer back to the essay topic and point of the paragraph. So what is human behaviour or nature? As humans, we're different in many ways, but we're also likely to react, respond or behave in similar ways when faced with a set of circumstances. That's what's called human behaviour. For example, when a loved one dies, we're all likely to go through the stages of grief: denial, anger, depression and then acceptance. In circumstances that are challenging, we're likely to step up to the challenge and conquer, or avoid the challenge and take on a victim mentality. So as people worldwide, we're all likely to behave in these certain ways, and that's what human behaviour or nature is. The characters in texts we read often reflect human behaviour by behaving in ways that we can understand and relate to, because it is what most people would do in a similar situation, and that's what makes these characters relatable. By commenting on this in your essay, you're demonstrating insight and perception about human nature. This is excellence level thinking. So here's an example. Job helps the reader to understand the important idea of overcoming adversity because he reacts to the negative treatment by his mother by taking extreme action later on in the story when he blows up the P-Lab and escapes to the Gold Coast. The author's purpose is to show the reader that when a child is unwanted and mistreated by their parents, it can cause them to find any way they can to escape their circumstances. We learn that when people are faced with such adversity, they will either fight to survive and overcome it, or they can develop a chip on their shoulder and behave like a victim. Job helps the reader to understand this important message because he is badly treated, but he fights to overcome his adversity. So a big tip here is to do what I've done in the last sentence and refer back to the essay topic. Another tip is to aim to add transitions. These are words or phrases that allow you to move seamlessly from one part of the paragraph to another. They're also useful for the final sentence of your paragraph, like these ones here. So hit pause and just have a quick read over these to see which ones would work for you. Now that we've gone through each step, here is the whole shebang. You can hit pause on this one and read it through in your own time. I won't read it to you. Good luck for your essays, and I hope this has been helpful. Good night.